Alright, next event we've got unlocked is a limited time series, McLaren F1 GTR Championship. Not a new car, in fact it's been in the game for quite some time. So with these legacy car limited time series, oftentimes the upgrade tree is not quite as clean cut like the new cars that we've been dealing with, where you get 3 upgrades across the board and typically you're set, right? So this one's gonna be a little bit funky. So let's hop in and find out what this is gonna be all about. We've still got 7 days to go, so that means this event will expire on the 16th of April 2020, so Thursday, next Thursday. So check your calendars and plan accordingly. Alright, so McLaren F1 GTR Championship, earning McLaren F1 GTR by 100% completing this special limited time series. I want to say we've had like 2 other runs of this car's limited time series, so this might be the 3rd time we're running through this one. I might be wrong, but I think we've had couple of runs on this before, so they really want you to run through this. And of course, each time they reintroduce, I feel like the PR requirement changes, so I'll have to go through my old video archives to find out what the PR requirement in the was in the past. But for this one, it's gonna be 68.5. So we'll take a look. So, take to the track with this legendary race car, famous for winning the 1995 24 Hours of Le Mans. Alright, so here's the breakdown of the prize. Let's see, 48 gold total, kind of a odd reward amount. Why couldn't they just make it 50 even? I guess 50 was 2 gold too much for monkeys to afford us. Still, we get to pick up 100,000 racing dollars though, so they're not sparing any there. And then, of course, if you don't own this car, you will win the car as well. Now, the series this car's featured in, it's featured in 2 different series. One of the big box series in the Legends section of your road collection, McLaren Generations. Winning this car is not going to unlock that one automatically, just so you know. Then what does this one unlock? It will unlock the 1998 season of Endurance GT Racing that you will find under Motorsports section. So this car is split in, you got a series in your road collection, and you got a series actually in the motorsports section as well. So apparently these they're okay with splitting the car to be featured in both series. So I feel like some of those like old, I don't know, cars featured in the motorsports section should really be re-featured in the road collection section as well. That's just my hope, since we have so many bonus series with single cars and season with a single car. It seems somewhat silly to have those so many single car bonus series, you know what I mean? Anyway, so the breakdown of 25% increment here. So for our purpose, let's get the series done right away by spending all that gold. Don't do that under normal circumstances. It's not worth it. It's cheaper to just buy the car. But we're just gonna run through the video here, the series real quick, to check out what series this car unlocks. I wonder if I already have the season unlocked, the 1998 season of Endurance GT Racing. No, I didn't. So yes, that's what happens. It unlocks the 1998 season, yes, of Endurance GT Racing, which does feature the Nissan, which is a pretty cool car, which was on sale, I believe, like the other day. Up through the other day. It was like a short 3-day sale. Anyway, the base PR, as you can see, 51.1 is where we're starting. And they are requiring 68.5. So let's check into the final cup here and confirm that it is 68.5. And look at that. They are showing us PR without having to get me to check into the service or upgrade section. That's kind of nice change to the game they adjusted. I appreciate that. But anyway, in order to get our PR up to 68.5, we're gonna need a few upgrades, huh? Alright, so let's see how much this is gonna cost. First tier upgrades are gonna be all racing dollars. In fact, this car has 8 upgrades available with the racing dollars only before you have to spend gold. So that should bring your PR up to 56.9. So I'll just go through it real quick. So 106,300 for the engine de-restricted air intake upgrade here. Get the 0.6 PR point boost. All right. Fine. They're all gonna take 4 hours, so that's not too bad, right? It's not like starting out with a 12-hour upgrade time, because those are just absolute drag. Anyway, we do the same for Drivetrain, which does give us a nice 0.8 PR point boost, 98,900. And then next category, we got body, 0.5 PR point boost, but it's also cheaper, 78,500, or polycarbonate window replacements. It's essentially plastic windows, right? And next category, suspension. All right, uprated carbon fiber racing sway bar, 90,600 and 0.7 PR point boost. So that's a nice boost on the PR. Exhaust always has a nice PR boost typically. In this case, we get 0.9 PR point boost, which is pretty awesome, for 89,600 racing dollars. Uprated high flow catalytic converter. Yes. And then the brakes. We got uprated competition brake pads. For brakes upgrade, that is a pretty good PR boost. 0.7 PR point boost for 69,300 racing dollars. And the last category, tires and wheels, 83,200 racing dollars. Specialized camber and toe adjustments, another 0.8 PR point boost for this one. So not bad. And let's get them done right away. And that brings our PR up to 56.1. All right. So we still can get one more upgrade with racing dollars. And that is going to be in the category of tires and wheels. The tier 2 upgrade is a racing dollar upgrade as well for 124,700. It does take 8 hours, so obviously it's beginning to take longer and longer as it goes on. But hey, that's another racing dollar upgrade, so not complaining, right? So that does add another 0.8 PR points to the overall to bring our PR up to 56.9, which is the limit of the racing dollar upgrades. So with a PR 56.9 on this, the others are all gonna be gold. Yep, and tires and wheels of course is gonna be gold. the final tier upgrade. Suspension's gold, body's gold, drivetrain, and engine. They're all gonna be gold upgrades as you would expect, right? But while we are here with all the racing dollar upgrades done, let's check into tier 4 where you get to claim that first, I guess you cannot see it, 25% completion reward, which was 4 gold, I believe. So what's the PR requirement for this tier 4 cup at Monza Junior course? It's 56.3, which is obviously below 56.9. So even if you cannot afford any gold and you don't own this car, you can at least put some racing dollar upgrades on it and run through a few tiers and pick up, not a whole lot, but 4 gold, and you get to test drive this fine motor vehicle. So I highly recommend it. It's a good car. I mean, it's a little bit slippery, but still, it's a good car to practice your lines on. And the way I think about cars like this one is it helps you stay disciplined in nailing your braking point, because these slippery cars are very, very unforgiving, right? So if you miss your braking point, you will pay, as you know. So, but that helps you, honest about your skills. So that's very important when you're trying to run in like actual critical events that, demand that from you, right? From the racers, like a time trials, like weekly time trials where, obviously if you go off track, you get heavily penalized, so you wouldn't want to do that, but at the same time you want to get good time. Or more importantly, or maybe equally importantly, when we have special events without the PR requirements, right? Like the Pinnacle of Performance event that we just are still currently going on, by the way. There's no PR requirement, meaning if you can drive better, you can win the same car with less amount of gold spent. See? That's always a good deal. You're essentially getting a discount that somebody with less skill wouldn't get. So think about it that way. It's a good car to practice in. Right. But anyway, by the way, this car you cannot customize. Only option you get are 2 color schemes. You get the yellow or you get the black. I do like yellow simply based on the fact that it's easier to see when you're racing in the night race. Like Le Mans race at nighttime, things get pretty dark. Especially if you have a little rough scrimmage, scuffles with the other racers, you might blow out your headlight, then it gets super dark. At least the car is a little bit brighter. I think it helps. Anyway, enough of me yapping here. Let's get to the continuing on with the upgrades here. So tier 4, 25% completion, doable with racing dollars alone. But as you noticed, we're pretty close to the 56.9, which means that's about it. All you're going to be able to do 50%, 75%, and of course 100%. You're not going to be able to do that with the racing dollars alone. So let's get some gold upgrades here. And I got my calculator out so we can actually tally up the total. So engine's going to cost 44 gold, which unlocks the next tier racing dollar upgrade. And it's going to be kind of a similar scheme here. 40 gold for the drivetrain. So far 84 spent, right? And then body, we gotta spend another 32 here. So that brings our total up to 116. It's racking up pretty quickly, isn't it? And another 36 for suspension. And now we're let's see, adding exhaust, which should be about the equal amount. Yep, exactly the same. And that is up to 188. And then brakes is going to be another 28. So that is 216 so far. And we're up to PR 61, so we got another 7.5 PR point we need to add to this car. So considering none of these categories give us a full PR point, I mean the highest we saw was 0.9 from that drivetrain. Oh no, it was the exhaust, right? We're not gonna get that lucky again. Certainly not for every category, which means we're gonna need all tier 3 upgrades and then some, right? Because there are 7 categories. So, alright. But since we've upgraded, we've unlocked a bunch of racing dollar upgrades, let's get those in, which are basically tier 3 upgrades in all categories except for tires and wheels, of course. And these are gonna take 12 hours now. 239,000 for engine here. And yeah, PR point is down to 0.6. They're getting squeezed. And drivetrain, we still get 0.8 PR point boost, so not too bad. Getting a little bit pricier as well, so if you're new to the game, these racing dollar costs might, you might feel a little bit of a pinch in your account. Alright, and then the body gives you 0.5 PR point boost, so that's not helping much. Suspension, 0.7 PR point boost, 203,000. And then exhaust, we get another 0.9, so exhaust, always nice. And then finally, brakes will give us another 0.7 PR point boost, 155,900 there. And then tires and wheels, of course, is the gold upgrade. So let's hold off on that one and let's see how far we get when they're all added up. It brings us to 65.2, which is obviously not enough to reach us to the 68.5, so that means we've maxed out a couple of categories here. So that means we gotta, of course, tires and wheels, 3rd tier. We should be getting this one because it's gonna be one of the cheaper gold upgrades remain here. And yes, it is a dead end upgrade, but we're gonna have to get it. So let's add another 50 to our total. Brings our PR up to 66. That is tier 3 upgrades across the board on this guy. With the cost of 266 gold so far. So we maxed out the final 3 categories here. And as you can see, the engine, there are 8 upgrades available, 3 of which we already put on. Drivetrain is going to be a dead end. Body, there are 6 upgrades available, so we still got 3 more we can put on. And suspension is going to be also a dead end upgrade. Now, with that all being said, engine upgrade, it's always kind of pricey. And it will unlock the next tier racing dollar upgrade. But with this car, it is actually gonna be, I believe, cheaper to go with the maxing out drivetrain, body, and suspension. Of course, body is kind of the same scenario as the engine, except cheaper. It costs you 70 gold, but it does unlock racing dollar upgrade tier, and then followed by another gold tier. Actually, did I say you have to max out body? You don't have to max out body because that's gonna be super expensive. The last tier upgrades are always very pricey, especially later tiers, right? So the way you want to go is basically get the tier 4 upgrades on both drivetrain and suspension. So that's gonna be 80 for suspension and 90 for drivetrain. But the thing is, they're gonna give us greater PR boost than going with engine. So if you go with the engine upgrade, you're gonna need more than just this one. You're gonna need to get the racing dollar upgrade and then the following gold upgrade, which is gonna be a lot higher than what you can get with the drivetrain and suspension. I think that's the reason why I decide to go with the scheme of leaving engine at 3 upgrades, then instead getting the tier 4 upgrade in drivetrain for 90 gold. Actually, you know what? Let's do the body first. So that's a 70, which brings our total up to 336 now. And then we'll get the next tier 5 racing dollar upgrade, which is going to take a whole day now. 397,000 racing dollars will bring our PR up to 67. So let's get that. That's a kind of a no-brainer. Now we just need 1.5 PR point boost. Look at engine. All right, starts with a 0.6, but drivetrain is 0.8, and then suspension is 0.7, which will bring basically the combined PR boost from those two upgrades will bring us exactly 1.5 that we need, right? Now remember what I said. Engine is 95 gold, so it's more expensive than the other two, but PR point boost that you're getting is less than the other two also. And as the higher tiers go, what you get is actually less PR point boost. So even if you decide to go with the engine and get the racing dollar upgrade, it's not going to give you enough PR point boost to reach the PR 68.5, which means you're gonna have to get another gold upgrade. So because of that reason, it is actually cheaper to go with maxing out drivetrain and suspension to get you exactly to PR 68.5. Because if you look at engine once again, it doesn't get you quite there. 68.4, right? Which is, I suppose, well, and it's costing you more too. So why would you go to that route, right? So another 80 gold here. And that is 506 gold total, right? So I'll have the racing dollar cost and all the breakdown of the upgrade cost in the description box below. But here's the upgrade scheme: 3 on engine, 4 drivetrain, so basically maxed out. Body 5, so not quite maxed out, almost. The last tier is gonna be super expensive, yeah, 165, so we don't need that. Suspension maxed out at 4, and basically all the remaining categories are maxed out at 3 upgrades across the board. So it is 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 3, 3. Right, and the total cost is 506 gold and probably a couple of million racing dollars. And let's see, you get 48 of it back. So here, let's see, 506 minus 48 brings the total down to 458 is the, I guess, net cost. Now, this car is worth 630 gold, and if you get it with the showcase discount, then you can get it for 504 gold. That's 20% off, right? So, but if you get it that way, obviously car comes without any upgrades. This way, with the 458 gold, which is still less than the showcase discount price, you are getting the car with 25 of 31 upgrades already on board. So obviously, if you want the car, this is one of the better ways to win this car. So if it's not in your garage, I would highly recommend going for it, assuming that you can afford it. And it is featured in one of your main career series, the McLaren Generations. Now, that series is like you can complete, well, unlock every tier in that series without any gold upgrades. So that means if you have this car upgraded this much, I think you would be able to unlock the next series. So that's not a bad deal. And then there are some 80 gold that you can win in McLaren Generations, although you're not going to be able to win the big 33 gold 100% completion reward with this car at all. Only one that can complete that series is going to be McLaren P1 GTR, which of course has significantly higher PR, like 96.3, I think it's the maxed out McLaren P1 GTR. One of the best cars in the entirety of the game. And then, of course, we talked about the Endurance GT racing this car's featured in, the 1998 season. That season has 67 gold total available. And if you want to complete that one and win those all 67 gold, you don't need to own every car in the series because that's a motorsport series. You only need one. But you would need to bring this car's PR. Yeah, when it's maxed out, it goes all the way up to 72, and that's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need 72 to 100% complete that series. And obviously, that's not gonna be worthwhile your gold unless you get so perhaps not winning all 67 gold from that series, but you'll still be able to complete 75% completion with this PR, I think, which means you should still be able to pick up some 30 some gold. So 30 some gold from the 1998 season of the Endurance GT Racing series, and then you got another like 50 gold that you can pick up from McLaren Generations. So if you combine those two and count that into consideration of the cost, then all of a sudden the cost of the car is under 400 gold, and that's not bad for a car that is worth 630. So all right, so that is kind of the summary of the upgrades and the cost. So let's just take a quick look at the series itself. Tier 1 head-to-head at Hockenheim short, so that's going to be a pretty quick single lapper as expected. And we got elimination, you got to run for 2 minutes 20 seconds, right? Circuit of the Americas Club Circuit. The Cup for Tier 1 is at Melbourne, 2 laps, and no PR requirement there. And then Tier 2, we got Hunter at Dubai International Circuit, so that's a full lap. And Endurance at Brands Hatch, so depending on how you're racing, depending on how you're your margin of victory, right? Your mileage might vary. And then Cup for Tier 2 is going to be at Daytona Motorcycle Course. PR 53.9 is what's required. And it's going to be a single lapper, most likely a rolling start. I'd be really surprised if it isn't. Anyway, Tier 3, we got Autocross at Leipzig, Porsche Test Track, short on-road circuit, drag race at Nürburgring Grand Prix, and the Cup for Tier 3 is going to be at Mazda Raceway. Whoa, come back here. PR 55.2 is required. It's going to be 2-lap Cup. So, medium-size circuit. Should be fun. Tier 4, we already looked into this one earlier for the PR requirement, but let's run through it again. We got Speed Snap at Silverstone Bridge Grand Prix, and then Speed Record at the road course of the Brickyard Indianapolis Motor Speedway, so that's a full lap. And then Cup is going to be, of course, Monza Junior course, 4 laps with a PR requirement of 56.3, which is achievable with racing dollar upgrades alone. Alright, and moving on, Tier 5, we got elimination at Red Bull Ring National Circuit, head-to-head at Catalunya National, a single lap. And then the Cup for Tier 5 is going to be a Suzuka Grand Prix, double lap, PR 57.3. So obviously that's what you need gold upgrades at this point to achieve that. So, and obviously what you get back isn't going to be enough. So if you're going past Tier 4, you're in it to win it. Is really the point that I want you to get out to. Alright, moving on to Tier 6, we got Autocross at Mount Panorama, the hill climb, right? And then we got Hunter at Berlin circuit, and the Cup for Tier 6 at Bugatti circuit, 2 laps, PR 58.2 is required. Tier 7, Endurance at Spa, Speed Record at Hockenheim Short, and Cup at another one at Daytona, this time road course. Alright, 2 laps, PR 59.1 is required. And then moving on to Tier 8, the 50% completion tier, we got elimination at Nürburgring Sprint Circuit, head-to-head at Silverstone Grand Prix, and that's going to be a single lap. Yep. And then the Cup at Porsche Test Track long on-road circuit, 3 laps, and PR 59.9 is required there. Alright, moving on to Tier 9, we got Autocross at Red Bull Ring National Circuit, Endurance at Mount Panorama, and the Cup at Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix Circuit. PR 60.8 is required, and it will be a 2-lap Cup. Alright, Tier 10, we got Drag Race at, it's a drag race. It's going to be a Monza road course. And we got Hunter at Suzuka East, so that's a short lap. And then we do get a Cup at the 24-hour circuit, Le Mans. Single lap though, so not terribly long. 61.6 is the PR requirement. And then Tier 11, we got Speed Snap at Dubai Club, and elimination at Catalunya Grand Prix, and the Cup at Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course, 3 laps with the PR requirement of 62.9. Tier 12, 75% completion tier, right? Autocross at Berlin, head-to-head at Mazda Raceway, single lap, and the Cup here is at Hockenheim National, just 4 laps, not too long. PR 64.2 is required. And Tier 13, we got a Hunter, that's another full lap at 24-hour circuit, so we do have to make 2 full laps at the 24-hour circuit, it seems like. I don't think we're gonna get any more events in this series at the 24-hour circuit. I'd be surprised if we get more than 2 in the same circuit. Then we got endurance at Porsche Test Track Dynamic Circuit. And the Cup for Tier 13 is at Monza Road Course. 4 laps with a PR 65.6 as the required number. Tier 14, we got Speed Snap at Dubai National. Autocross at Spa. And the Cup is going to be at the Red Bull Ring Grand Prix. 4 laps with the PR requirement of 67. And the final tier, we got Speed's Record at Catalunya Club. That's an interesting choice for the final tier. And then we got Elimination at Daytona Motorcycle Course. Rolling start. And I don't know if this car's gonna be fast enough to reach the first bend before 20-second timer runs out. Because if we don't, obviously that will require us to service the car, right? We'll see. And the final cup, of course, we looked at it earlier. It's going to be Silverstone National. 7 laps, PR 68.5 is required. So yeah, I feel like there were quite a few tiers where we might need to service the car. Like even the final tier looks like Elimination at Daytona. It's always questionable. You might need to service the car. I mean, if we look at it from the beginning, you know, early tiers, no big deal. But drag race is always questionable, although it's been getting easier. Even with the random starts, right? Tier 4, because it's earlier tier, the target might still be doable for like speed record, although if you have only racing dollar upgrades only and you're running unserviced, that might force you to have to either run many times to train the bots or, you know, just get it serviced and be done with it easier, right? Elimination at Red Bull Ring National shouldn't be an issue. Head to head is rarely won. Autocross, Hunter, endurance, speed record at Hockenheim short. Would that be doable unserviced? I think so. Hockenheim generally does not require you to service the car for those events. Generally, they're always surprising ones. More elimination at Nürburgring Sprint Circuit. Nürburgring, I think you'll be able to reach that first bend, first corner before 20-second runs out. Definitely in this car, I think. I know I said definitely, and then I think. I might have to eat my words on that one. Tier 9, nothing stands out. Tier 10, drag race this deep into the series. If you have managed to run this car unserviced till this point, that one might require to service the car. Drag race. And then speed snap at Dubai Club, possibly. Catalunya Grand Prix, you can definitely reach the first bend within 20 seconds. It's not one of the longer distance between the starting point and the first corner, so that's generally helpful. And then the rest of it, I mean, yeah, maybe speed snap at Dubai National. I don't know, those speed events can be a little tricky unserviced, so maybe a couple of times, maybe 3 times you might need to service the car throughout the event if you're trying to run with like bare minimum. But anyway, that does it for this video. So I'll actually be making my run through this event in the following videos. So if you'd like to tag along for a ride, you know, subscribe and stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. So take care.